if I ask you, do you have favorite apple varieties within the 30 that you're using?
Yeah.
Are there a few that you've got a lot more trees?
We have more, yes, we have more trees of Bisquet, Binet Rouge. They are bittersweet apples, and they have really a good taste. It's really a good balanced varieties of apple. Among those 30 varieties, I would say that 10 of them are most important in volume. And the choice, the selection has been made with time, in fact. My ancestors have seen that this variety was best in this field, this variety best in this field, that the cider pane was good. Some apple trees are adapted to our soil, our terroir. Others are less adapted. So the selection is quite natural, in fact. But we realize.
But no pear.
No, I could use pear. For the appellation, we could use 15% of pear, but we prefer producing 100% apples Calvados.
Why is that? Because nobody in the family used pear before.
Yeah, it's maybe for that. It's maybe for that. We don't have. We are, in my in the little area where I am in Pays d'Auge, there is not so much pear. There are more pears in other region of production, like Cambremer or Pont-l'Évêque. In my area, there's not pear. Maybe the soil is less adapted, and the soil, contrary, is really good for apples, so we don't need pear. You know, it's good to add fruit taste, fresh fruit taste. If you have some varieties that are correct, but not so much, you can add pear to bring more freshness and acidity. But we have apples that are enough acid and fruity to
And I imagine that one year you'll have a normal harvest, but some varieties will do very good, and others that maybe bloomed earlier got hit by frost, and therefore you end up with very few of those.
Yeah.
So every year,
the mix is different every year because we depend on the nature. So that's why also we do this kind of blending of Calvados. If you always use the same barrel and the same barrel are never totally empty, you blend each year, you can have a regularity in taste. And that's what our clients are looking for. So when they buy a bottle of 8 years old Calvados, they're happy to find the same taste than 4 years before or something like that.
But when the cognac people say that really the art of blending is in cognac, it's even more so in Calvados.
Sure.
Because you're playing not with one or two grape varieties, you're playing with 30. So many apple varieties.
Yeah, probably.
It must
we are very comment dire, humble, modeste.
You humble people in Calvados.
So we never say that it's too difficult, but it's a lot of work. And actually, the period is really interesting because we are some small distilleries, family distilleries, with a young generation that work the product, and people, the consumers, start to understand that Calvados is not only the rustic and popular alcohol that is known for many years, and they understand that Calvados producers have methods, very strict methods, and it's an alcohol like another with some, how can I explain? Methods, terroir. You see?
I suggest we taste
the Hache d'Or.
The Hache d'Or.
Sure.
And I'd like you to talk about the specificity of the Pays d'Auge, because you don't really have the choice of the distillation. When you distill, it's in a
double
copper pot still.
Exactly, double distillation. You have 3 appellations in Calvados. So there is the appellation Calvados, the biggest in volume. There is the most recent is Calvados d'Enfronté. It's another region of Normandy. It's made with a minimum 30% of pears. They had a lot of pears in this region. And Calvados Pays d'Auge is the oldest appellation. It was created in 1942 during the war to protect the stock of Calvados. And it's the oldest area of Normandy known for Calvados. You know, the rest of Normandy is very flat. Pays d'Auge, on the contrary, is
It's quite hilly.
You have yes, and you have much more rain. So it's not, unfortunately for us, but it's good for the apple trees.
The trees need
yes, the trees need a lot of rain, apple trees. So that's why the Pays d'Auge was known for Calvados, because the weather conditions were perfect for apple trees. And the tradition was to distillate twice. I still distillate over wood fire.
You're still using wood?
Yeah.
That must be a big headache.
It's complicated, but it's the traditional way of distillating.
Well, we'll go back to distillation just a second, but this smells absolutely amazing. This is so complex. This is so rich.
That's the advantage of those kind of blending in barrels that are never changed. No, from the youngest Calvados is between 20 and 25 years old, and the oldest is around 60. And for me, in our range of Calvados, it's not the oldest, but it's maybe the most elegant. You have l'équilibre, what do you say?
And good balance.
Good balance, and spicy notes. And it's really, really long after taste.
Many spirits on blind tasting, when it's 25, 30, 40-year-old,
can't recognize.
You can't really tell.
Yeah.
Because you've got big vanilla notes, big toasted notes, and other characters that could be coming from
because you fill the barrel,
cognac, or because the wood.
Because of the wood.
It's really the raw material, the apple that screams.
That's what we are looking for. Even in my oldest cuvée, in the barrels of my great-great-grandfather, you still have the apple taste. It's not the fruit, the fresh fruit. It's more like a cooked apple, you know. It's like a dessert, an apple tarte tatin or an apple pie, something like that.
So you keep the first run, you make a cut. You keep the heart, and this is the heart.
The first distillation?
Yeah.
We also keep, yes, we make also cuts at the first distillation. Right. So we keep the heart, and we call it petit eau. It's an alcohol, the intermediary alcohol, it's around 30% of alcohol. And after the second distillation, we always, is the most important, because it's what we call la bonne chauffe. It's where we produce Calvados. So at this time we are very strict on the cuts, much more, and the heads. We were talking about the heads of distillation. You have aromas, but you also have very aggressive alcohols. You know, it's the most volatile alcohols that lives first of the alembics. So if you keep all those alcohol very aggressive, it wouldn't be very interesting for a final product. So that's why we have to.
What do you do with the heads and the tails on both?
We distillate them again.
Okay.
I mean, there is still alcohol in it that we want to extract. So, for example, the heads of the first distillation, we mix it with the cider we will distillate, and it's the same for Calvados. The heads of Calvados will mix them with the petite eau that we will distillate after. So,
very good. Well,
the distillation with wood fire is really a great moment, you know. Among those 3 pot stills, the oldest was bought by my great-grandfather in 1901, and I still use it. You can get that.
It's not getting too thin?
No, we maintain it, but we still use it by the same method than 1 century ago.
But so the wood that you're using,
yeah,
is there a specific wood? Is it just oak?
There is oak. There is I don't know the English name. Hêtre, frêne. Well, a little of apple trees from our orchards, but we don't produce enough wood to distillate. So I buy locally in local forest. But it's a great moment, the distillation. You know, it's long. It's we distillate 2 to 3 months a year. Okay. One month in September, and we stop to focus on the harvest, and we start again in January, February. So I mean, in next February we will finish, or maybe March, we'll finish to distillate the cider of last year's production.
That's a lot of apples to keep.
Yes, a lot of stock. You know, my stock is of Calvados is a bit more than 20 years of production.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know too many producers, spirit producers who can say that.
No, we are not a lot to have a so big stock. But it's important. The main Calvados we sell are very old, have a minimum 15, 20 years old. We sell young Calvados also, but we sell a lot of old Calvados and we don't want to buy Calvados to other producers. We want only to bottle want to bottle only the Calvados we distillate by ourselves.
Right.
So we are obliged to have this huge stock.
Yeah. What is your? Well, no. Let's have a taste first.
Yes, good idea. Yes, in the complexity and the elegance.
Very elegant.
We don't feel the 41% of alcohol. Huh?
No,
it's warm. It's warm and.
Wow, it's very good. Very good. What is your biggest market?
France.
France.
Yeah. You know, Calvados is quite popular in France.
And not just in cooking.
No, not just in cooking and not only just in the coffee. You know this tradition in France. The workers in the past used to put Calvados in the coffee and the breakfast before going to the factory or to the field.
Gives a bit of strength.
Yeah, probably. But it was not the Calvados we produce nowadays. You know, it's only young white Calvados.
What about people who tell you, "Oh, Calvados is great in cocktails"?
Young Calvados is great in cocktails.
Do you make that young of a Calvados that you would feel comfortable using in a cocktail?
I always use. I have a 3-year-old Calvados that aged in a very big and very old barrel, so it's really clear in color, but it's the taste of an apple. You have the nose of cider and the taste of a fresh green apple. You know, with little acidity. And it's perfect in cocktail. The most simple and my favorite is Calvados tonic. You put tonic water, like pas citer de marque.
Right.
So you mix Calvados with the tonic water, and the cocktail, how can I explain, hides the alcohol, but you have all the flavors, all the aromas of apples revealed by that.
Is Calvados good for your health?
Sure. You know what we say, an apple a day keep the doctor away, so a distillate apple. It's much more better, no?
Even better, of course. Can people visit the estate?
Yes, we are open all the year. We never close. We receive. I never made advertisement, you know, with big panel to make people come. But when people come, because it's a very small village, it's not a touristic road, so people have to find before. It's quite difficult. But when people find, they have a good recompense. So we show them the distillery, all the cellars. We make tasting.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for giving us
a good moment. Yeah.
And hopefully you will rush to liquor stores, bars, and restaurants and order more Calvados.
I hope so.
Because the apple is just that great sin that we keep going to.
Thank you.